Are you gonna introduce us?
This is a podcast with Ark and Joe.
That's it?
That's how it's a podcast.
You really are assholes.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
You come onto our podcast?
Yeah, I come into our podcast and I say things like that. How dare I? Can you think of an actor that's like a background role in more movies than Jack Black? Like, because like he's always the actor you hear and you think like you hear like he's in this one. You go, no, he wasn't. They go, yeah, he was this. You go, oh my god, he was.
Yeah, there's a guy who was on Cougar Town,
but is also famous.
This guy is famous. He's been on lots of stuff.
He's a household name. Am I gonna know him?
Oh shit, I don't know if he's a household name.
Because Jack Black's a household name.
I'm trying to remember. I know he was also This Is the End.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Jack Black, no, I have no idea. Because Jack Black, he's in Waterworld, right? He's in.
Jack Black is in Waterworld?
Yes, he's in Waterworld.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he plays like one of the radio. He's like the guy. He's got a weird hat and his hair's all crazy. And they talk to him for a few minutes. He's in The Cable Guy.
Yeah, I knew he's in The Cable Guy. Yeah.
He's in Saving Silverman, but he's a main role in that one. He's in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. He's in The Neverending Story 3.
Nobody's seen The Neverending Story 3 though.
I have. It's not good, but I've seen it. He's in Demolition Man. Right? What else is he in? He's in Airborne. There's a lot of films where you just go, oh, yeah, Jack Black was in that as like a kid. He did like all this stuff as like a young man.
I'm gonna say Deborah Wilson.
Who the fuck is Deborah Wilson?
She was on Mad TV. She was in she's done so much animated stuff. She was in Over the Hedge. She was in Scary Movie. I think only the fourth one. She was on 3 episodes of What If already. She was in she plays Devora in Mortal Kombat.
No, I don't like Mortal Kombat.
You don't like Mortal Kombat?
No, I like Mortal Kombat.
What's not to like about Mortal Kombat? It's just people ripping each other's fucking throats out. It's great.
I don't know. It's just fighting.
She's in Gears 5. Like, she's in a lot of video games, but I didn't, when I saw her name, when we were watching, what was that thing called? I just said it. My brain sucks lately.
Waterworld.
No, she's not in Waterworld.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No. She was on What If, and I was like, what the fuck? Deborah Wilson was in this? And one of the guys, Eric, was like, yeah, she's like, she does a lot of voice work. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought she was like on Mad TV and like a really good comedian. And all of a sudden she's like doing tons of animated stuff. She's in StarCraft.
What the qualifier is for you to be a really good comedian is you have to be on Mad TV.
Yeah, she was on Fallout New Vegas, or she was in Fallout New Vegas, I should say.
Oh, who'd she play?
Kate, Sweetie, Yvette. And then
is that the girl that says the
I don't know.
Dick Johnson thing?
I don't know. She was on an episode of Scrubs.
Did JD hit on her?
She was in the movie Avatar as
which one?
Troop. The Avatar. The Avatar. James Cameron's Avatar.
Okay, was she one of the big tall people?
I don't know. It says Troop. That's her character name, Troop, with an E.
Who
did she play in StarCraft Wings of Liberty? She was on Reno 911. She was in the Boondocks. 3 different episodes of CSI. Remember CSI? How popular that show was? Yeah,
there's that episode where Justin Bieber gets shot.
She was on Clone High.
I don't think Clone High is a good show, and I don't think it should come back.
What? Clone High was great.
No, it wasn't.
My abs are so tight you could grate cheese on them.
That's not funny.
Yes, it is. Anything with Will Forte. Give me more Will Forte.
All right, let's get another season of Last Man on Earth.
I didn't know Michael McDonald, but I should have known that because it's definitely Michael McDonald's voice. But we're getting a MacGruber TV series and a sequel to the movie. Like,
see, the sequel to the movie sounds good because the sequel to the movie is, the original movie was great. Like, I'll suck your dick, and he just prompts, like, he's got his pants down, trying to suck that guy's dick, like 2 whole minutes straight.
There are 2 TV series that, what the hell? He's been in like 3 TV series that I haven't seen since. No, it's been a lot since The Last Man on Earth.
Listen, season 1 of that show is really,
they're all
good.
Animated. Now I understand. Okay.
They did an animated version of Last Man on Earth.
No, he was on Bob's Burgers. He was something called No Activity. I've seen Sweet Tooth. He plays the dad. The Great North, Housebroken. These are all animated series that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think of him as an animated, like a voice actor, because of Clone High.
If they were to make an animated version of your life, who would you want to do the voice work for you?
Oh, I mean, Kevin Conroy would be.
You wouldn't do your own voice work?
Why would I do my own voice work?
I don't know. Be more authentic.
No. I want someone who sounds cooler than me to be me, right?
I could do it for you then.
No, well, some people think you have a great voice.
You're not one of them?
I don't think you should do my voice.
I think I do your voice. I go, oh, well, actually, Joseph.
Joseph R. Smodley.
What's the R stand for?
Can't say it on air.
Rectum.
Can't say it on air. Rectum. Hardly knew him.
Yeah. No, it's with a CTUM, not a CKED. CKEDEM.
So, they've announced a new D&D edition.
You know, I saw a meme about this, and I thought it was just like a meme joke thing. So now hearing you say it goes, oh, is it 5.5?
They're not calling it any of that. They're not calling it a new edition. There's a new book coming out called Monsters of the Multiverse. Mordenkainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse, because there's already Volo's Guide to Monsters and
yeah, I own that book. I own Volo's Guide to
and
Monsters. The only fifth edition book I own.
But because of Tasha's, and here's what I find really, so they're doing, it's called a rules expansion. They're calling it a rules expansion, but they're supposedly in 2024 it's going to be a full refresh. But the rules expansion is literally just 2 books that are already out, which is Tasha's and Xanathar's, because everybody uses Xanathar's basically, right? Like Xanathar's.
So they're gonna bring those 2 books to just be like, this is core now. Like this is just
with
a new version.
I guess, but they haven't announced what book that is. They've just gone you should just use these rules, and there's gonna be a set with 2 books that everybody owns Xanathar's. Basically, everybody loves Xanathar's because it's unequivocally the best book for 5th edition.
So 5th edition's been out for a while, and everyone's basically found out how to game the system in every possible way, and what parts of the game don't work, and what parts of the game are kind of busted. And they go, listen, we're not going to release a new edition and break the game, but we're going to repackage it. It's same edition.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy it. Everything else will still work for it. You don't have to adjust. But if you want to get all those things fixed and not argue with people, here's your new rule book to do that, is what they're doing.
You know, it would be great if they went back because originally there was Dungeons and Dragons, then Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and then there was 2nd edition.
Yeah.
Why don't they just call it Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition?
Well, I mean, they got a while before it's coming out, so maybe they will.
I mean, it would make sense, right? Or 5e Advanced or something, right?
Well, they'll go 5e Remake.
Please. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, and there'll be 5e Remake Part 2.
Yeah, so this was announced 5e was announced in 2012, called D&D Next, and it was officially released I think in 2014.
So it released in 2014 as 5e.
Yeah.
Okay. I enjoy when D&D comes out with new editions. Every once in a while, it feels like every 10 years. I don't know what the actual
the gap is getting smaller is the thing. The gap has gotten smaller.
That's the problem, is the gap I don't like it when the gap gets smaller. Yeah. I'm just not going to play the new one.
Yeah, that's what we did with 4th edition, and then we were like, well, let's try it because I worked at a store, a company that sold the books, not a store, a retailer or a wholesaler, and we got them really cheap. We got them really, really cheap. So the
4th edition or the 5th edition?
4th edition. And I kind of wish I had, because there is good stuff in those books. It's just that the whole package was just not what we wanted at the time. Right. And then there was Pathfinder. So, and who doesn't love Pathfinder? Everybody loves Pathfinder.
It's the perfect.
It's so complicated. Oh, the bots are out. This is great. The bots are out. I'm getting followed by Gun P5, Gun C4, Gun Q9, Gun H8. This is cool. Yeah, the bots are out.
I don't know what those bots are.
It's the hate raid stuff, I guess.
What is it? What is a hate raid?
Oh, it's
Twitch thing?
Yeah, it's a thing that was happening on Twitch. That Twitch was supposed to be addressing, but people got real mad that Twitch wasn't addressing it, and then Twitch said they'd address it, and they really haven't done anything.
What is a hate raid? I don't
So,
know what this is.
You know what a hate crime is, right? Where it's a crime against like a minority, basically a minority group or a person of a minority group. So a hate raid is when someone raids someone, typically as a part of a minority group, which I'm not a part of, right? So probably won't happen to me. It's not something I've worried about. At least for me, like obviously worried about for my friends who are minorities. And they just come in and they just put like vile words, right? Like things you wouldn't say. Okay. They'll call people things, but it's bots. Like somebody like makes a command and a bunch of bots go and post stuff. And what they do, part of the problem is that Twitch accepts like 25 different languages. Mm-hmm. So it accepts the alphabet for all those languages. And if you could just give me the English alphabet on Twitch, and then all of a sudden people couldn't type things in like Taiwanese or something, it just couldn't show up, right? Like, you like if you don't install language packs with Windows, like you just can't type or you can't even read things. So what happens is that people will go in and then they'll post words that you've banned, obviously, right? Like certain terrible words that Twitch is auto banned, obviously, because they're reprehensible, and they'll just spell it with like an accent. And all of a sudden it comes through the filter. And so someone recently, I think 2 weeks ago, wrote a script to figure out all the different variations you could spell with these words. And it took him, I don't know how many hours just to write the bot. And he's like, yeah, there's like 13 billion combinations to spell one bad word. And if we have 30 bad words, it's just never going to get fixed. Like it takes too long. And Twitch doesn't have a way to do that. Like you have to manually enter words. So at first he was manually entering words, like banning them. And he's like, yeah, I spent like 20 hours and I got like, 900 words done or whatever it was, like some tiny number for variations. And so he wrote a bot, and it's like, it's just unfeasible for people to do something about it.
So there's a problem that will never get fixed.
There are people know of ways to fix it. Like Twitch could fix it, they just haven't. Because you have to also understand, it doesn't affect the top level creators. It doesn't affect people who are making Twitch money. Right? This isn't a problem for Ninja or Stroud. It's a problem for. Is
Ninja back on Twitch now?
Yeah, he's back on Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because Facebook streaming or whatever disappeared. Was he on Facebook? He wasn't on YouTube, right? I'm pretty sure it was Facebook. No, he went to Mixer, and then Mixer died like a week later.
He got paid like a
bajillion. Yeah.
He got like $1 million or something.
He got a lot of money.
It was big, but
it was like $13 million. There
you go. And then Twitch was streaming stuff on his channel.
Yeah, because he didn't own it. You don't own your channel on Twitch.
He still had it, but they were just accessing his channel and streaming stuff on there. And he went, you can't do that legally. And they got in a big pissing match. I think he won.
Well, okay. I mean, he's back anyway.
Yeah, okay. You want to go? Maybe he's friendly. You want to go see if he'll stream with us?
Ask Ninja to be on our. I've never gone to his stream, so give me a second. Twitch.tv/Ninja. It is just Ninja, I assume.
I don't know.
He's not streaming right now.
Oh, he's well, maybe next time.
Let me jump in. Started playing his channel trailer. I should have muted the tab. Let's see how many people are in his chat right now. Oh, like several thousand people just in his chat. They're not talking or anything. They're just
waiting.
They're just people who leave it open. Oh, he streamed Apex last.
See, you and him. You like Apex.
Oh, this is interesting. He doesn't lock his VODs behind a paywall. Like I don't do that.
Well, he doesn't need to, does he?
He probably doesn't, yeah. So he played copyrighted music on his stream because it says audio for portions of this video have been muted as it appears to contain copyrighted content owned.
Did you hear about the Metallica thing that happened?
Oh, did they sue Napster?
No, they were doing a live stream on Twitch.
Oh, yeah, and they
Twitch muted it and put over music off.
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, I mean, they're the ones who wanted that to happen, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
That's
funny.
That's what they wanted. The DMCA, right?
just funny. I love it. What do you want from me? Oh Lord.
I mean, it's not what they wanted, but it's what happened. Basically, it's because the internet's too difficult to police, right? Which is the way I like it. I like the internet being a wild, wild west, not incredibly censored, which is going to change in time.
Or I think we just censor it all. What if we just got rid of the internet completely? I think it'd be for the better.
All right, well, let's stop the show.
Stop the show, go home. We're going to have to do it in person from now on. So you're going to have to come down to Washington because I can't come up to you.
Because you don't have a passport?
No, because I'm lazy. But I don't have a passport.
Oh, right.
You walk all the time. You could make it. It's just like a few extra miles. Or kilometers.
It's a few more kilometers than it is miles. I remember seeing a thing where somebody was like, no, it's further. It's further in kilometers. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, it's further because there's more kilometers in a mile.
Checks out. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. So take the American path.
Yeah.
Here.
Goddamn. Fucking check that meme you sent me, eh? Checkmate. Yeah. Maybe we should do it. We should do it like Bruce and Lawrence do it, where I just like show my screen and you just send me things on Reddit.
Yeah, go ahead. Show me your porn that you're watching right now.
Okay, hold on. Let me go to what was the thing called last night that we found? We were looking for
Pirates.
We were watching Pirates of the Caribbean last night.
Yeah, I watched it this morning.
You watched the pornographic version of Pirates of the Caribbean.
No. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean again this morning.
You watched the first movie again this morning.
Yeah, it's a really good film. I love it.
Okay.
You don't like Pirates of the Caribbean?
It's good enough. I wouldn't watch it twice in the same time period, you know.
Well, it was a different day.
Not for me. I didn't go to bed until
What was different for me?
11.
You don't like Pirates of the Caribbean, is what you're saying.
I like Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't love Pirates of the Caribbean.
What do you hate about Pirates of the Caribbean?
I don't hate anything about it.
What do you don't, it's just you and me. Don't worry. What do you not like about Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, there's nothing I hate about those movies. I just don't love them.
So, what's better, Pirates of the Caribbean 2 or Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring?
Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, that's bullshit. You're lying.
Yeah, right. It's like one of the best movies ever made.
Okay, so let's take. I got a good idea. You take Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, the first film. You have to replace each character in that film with one of the actors.
Okay.
Not the actors, the characters from Pirates of the Caribbean.
So I'm replacing characters in Lord of the Rings with characters from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
And am I trying to find comparisons?
Let's start with, and we're gonna think how the film would be different. Let's start with the easy one. What character? I'm choking on my own spit.
Do you need me to call 911?
It's all those French fries
in Washington.
No. Who replaces Legolas?
Well, obviously Norrington plays Legolas.
Really?
Yeah, because
I think Norrington plays not Faramir.
Boromir? No.
Yeah.
No.
You think Boromir is played by Hector
Salazar?
Hector Barbosa.
Is that his name? No, it's not Hector Barbosa, is it?
That's what you were saying it was last night.
It is Hector Barbosa. What's Salazar?
That's Salazar.
It's Armando Salazar. Okay.
Armando.
Jack Sparrow. Yeah, no, Salazar is... Oh, no, it's... God damn, you fucked me up. Okay, so Barbosa is absolutely Boromir, right? Absolutely Boromir.
Because he betrays them.
Again, yeah.
And then he comes back as Faramir later.
He comes back as Faramir.
Get the same actor to play
Jeffrey Rush. I mean, Jeffrey Rush is a big guy. You could play Boromir probably. Probably be a good Boromir. Play a good Viking.
Who plays Pippin?
So Merry
and Pippin.
Yeah, are the two. Yeah, who are the two idiots?
The two pirate guys.
Yeah. Hello, Poppy.
But which one has the eye that falls out?
That's Pippin.
Actually, that's not Merry and Pippin. Merry and Pippin are the two British guards that are in all 3 of the films.
There's no such thing as a curse.
There's
So
the
you've
2 British
never
ones.
so you have seen a ship with black sails, but you've never seen the Black Pearl, is what you're saying. Yes.
Exactly.
All right. So it's
That's
Ragetti and Pindle or Pintel.
That's their names. In the
Yeah,
film.
yeah. Those are the.
Like, they named the.
Oh no,
fucker
that's not the
Reddy
guards. That's not
Ragetti.
the guards. That's the.
Oh, those are the pirates.
Those are the pirates. Yeah, the one guy I'm pretty sure played the dwarf in the Lord of the Lord of the Rings, the D&D movie.
Gimli?
No, he was in RoboCop too. Oh. It's Mulroy and Murtaugh are the two.
Who's Mulroy and Murtaugh? Who are these names? Like,
Those
you
are the
didn't even
two
nothing to
guards.
go
Those are
with
the
it, you just-
those are the redcoats who
Okay.
guard
Okay.
the Interceptor.
That's Merry and Pippin.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's a better fit though, don't you? Because the other 2 guys, they're pretty like, they're evil.
Okay, so
Those are goblins.
so Zoe Saldana is Arwen.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Because in the actual books, Arwen isn't in them as much as she is in the movie.
Well, that's and in the movie, Frodo's played by Elizabeth Swann,
yes, because she's the main character of the series.
as they've officially stated.
So Jack Sparrow then is Aragorn.
I don't think he is.
Do you think he's Legolas?
Nope.
Do you think he's Gandalf?
I think he's Gandalf.
Because he dies and comes back later on.
I didn't even think about that, but that is also true. Yeah. But even he's the guy that guides them the whole way. Right?
Mhm.
Like he's got the compass. He takes them on the journey.
Okay. So Will Turner is Sam.
And if you got to think which of those characters is the most wizardry of all of them, it's Jack Sparrow. Like, in the first film, like they leave him on the island for the second time and go, "Here's your one gun.
Oh my
Never
God.
see you again."
He gets
and
a
then
moth.
He just shows up
He-
within the same day.
He talks into a moth, and then an eagle comes and rescues him, and the eagle is the rum runners. He really is like, but then Barbossa should be not Boromir, but Barbossa should be Saruman.
Oh, Saruman. Yeah, that's a better role for him.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rush's
Yeah,
Saruman
oh.
would actually also be very good.
That's actually really good. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
God, he is Saruman.
yeah. 'Cause Saruman is the villain of the first film, right?
Yeah,
He's the
yeah.
villain of, and then the Two Towers starts introducing some of Sauron's
It's
forces.
Like
but,
Saruman is like, he's the villain, and he's always jealous and kind of angry towards Gandalf, even in like before the films.
Mhm. Well, that's why he overthrows
Everyone's
him.
always like, he's the best. He's the everyone's always like, Gandalf's the best wizard. He's the strongest or whatever.
Well,
And
Saruman
he's
is
the
supposed to be the strongest wizard because he's Saruman the
Yes.
White.
But it's Gandalf's like the one lady's favorite, right?
Well, that's because Gandalf is the one who actually goes out and talks to people. Like Gandalf actually goes out into the world, where Saruman just stays in his tower and he's like, "Look how powerful I am! I'm so cool."
Listen, I've watched the video that told me the whole history. He does some journeying. He does a bunch of journeying.
He's no blue
When
mage,
he-
though.
He goes and hangs out with the Blue Mages for a long
But
time.
they just disappear.
Yeah, unimportant.
I mean, when are we gonna get that started? Like, I don't care if it's bad. I just want to know what it is.
Well, we're never gonna get it.
What do you mean?
Someday, I guess. Someday, right?
What Christopher told?
So
Oh, he
who-
died too. Shit.
Who play? So who is Legolas and who is Aragorn? We have to figure this out real quick.
I mean, okay? So then Aragorn would be Norrington, right? Because he
I
swears
guess it
fealty
has
to
to be,
Elizabeth, right?
And then when you got a picture of that in the Pirates of the Caribbean 2 scene when Norrington is like drunk and dirty and like walking around in the water, he pretty much looks exactly like Aragorn. So that's all I got.
Does that mean Pintel and Ragetti are Legolas and Gimli?
I think they are.
So the governor then is not Saruman.
That's Elrond.
Oh no.
That's Elrond.
Oh no. Jonathan Pryce is Elrond.
But then now we have to think who plays.
What if? But we're only doing the first movie because I think the governor would actually be.
Right, in just the first.
He'd be
movie.
Theoden if it was the second movie, but
Which one's Theoden?
the king of Rohan.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Theoden doesn't die though.
Theoden dies. He dies in the third movie.
Doesn't he? I thought he lives.
He dies in the third movie.
It's been a while since I've watched it.
He gets crushed by an Oliphant. No,
Yeah, yeah.
no, he gets crushed by a
No, 'cause
fell
he-
beast. From
But
what?
then he's still alive for a little bit.
No,
Does
he
live through it?
dies. He dies.
You're right. I'm seeing it again in my head because she comes up.
Yeah.
Like, he lives for a little bit, but he still does die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she comes up and they have their last moments. And then he goes, ugh.
And then he's crushed by a fell beast, which is what the Nazgul ride.
She goes, I'm no man.
Yeah. No man can kill me. And then she just takes off her helmet, and the Witch King goes, "Oh shit!"
Just you knew what that really meant.
I meant the race of men. Who else do we have left?
Who did we say?
We got to get Gibbs. Who's Gibbs? Gibbs has got to be someone. Gibbs should be Elrond, but he's not.
No, Gibbs is an underling to the wizard.
He's not Grima Wormtongue.
He's an underling to Jack Sparrow.
Right, but Gandalf doesn't have underlings.
He might be the Bilbo.
You think Gibbs is Bilbo?
No, not
Bilbo
really.
doesn't help in the Fellowship.
I know.
Do you think he's Shadowfax?
You think he's the horse?
He's the horse.
That as I've recently learned isn't really that much of a special horse. He just Gandalf just stole the horse.
That's not true. He's the Lord of all horses. Shadowfax is the Lord of all horses.
It's kind of true, but it's not like Gandalf's horse. I found out recently he just stole the horse.
He didn't steal it. Shadowfax is an intelligent creature.
Yeah, well, he went, I need a horse. And he went, there's Shadowfax. I'm taking Shadowfax. And they both went, and Shadowfax was like, hell yeah, let's ride.
That also doesn't happen until the second movie, though.
He might be Shadowfax.
But that's the second movie. Wait, we gotta. Who's the?
Mr. Gibbs isn't as important in the first one.
That's true. Joshua Gibbs is not.
Gibbs might be Aragorn.
No, he can't.
We might have to move some people.
No, he can't be Aragorn.
Like he always. Well, Oh no, he's not Aragorn. He's Samwise.
No, Samwise is Will Turner.
No.
Yes.
Will Turner's Legolas.
He is not. Gibbs is Legolas.
I don't know.
Because
he is like the. But that's the thing though. Is like if you look at the characters for what they're supposed to be. Because what is Sam? You always talk about this. He's supposed to be like the perfect.
He's the everyman, is what he is. Sam's.
He's like that. And what is Gibbs? He's the Samwise of Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, Will Turner is the everyman of Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, he's not, because Will Turner throws a sword into a fucking.
Yeah, Samwise can throw swords. He just uses pots and pans.
Samwise is not as good of a fighter as Will Turner. Will Turner is supposed to be an everyman who's also like, by the way, I'm like this great fighter for no reason.
Well, because he trains 3 hours a day with the swords he makes.
100 push-ups and
100 sit-ups, runs 10 miles. 10 miles is pretty far. Let's be fair. That's a long way to run.
The run is the one thing that's like, oh, that's a good run. Everything else is like, eh.
Yeah, 100 push-ups is fine. I'm not going to do 100 push-ups a day, but if I wanted to,
do 100 push-ups in one go. But I could do like 5 every hour.
You'd get tired.
At 5 an hour?
Yeah, you'd get tired.
No, I wouldn't.
You'd get tired of doing them.
Oh yeah, that I would get tired of doing them. I don't think anybody would get tired of 5 an hour. Well, no, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I was muted on the stream, so it wouldn't hear me cough. And I knew you would say that.
Okay.
I don't think we're kind of out of characters.
So we've okay. So we're saying
maybe
Legolas
Gibbs is the
Gibbs.
tavern owner who owns the prancing pony.
I guess.
That's it. That's everybody.
Who plays the Balrog?
Gillette. Gillette is the assistant to Norrington. Yeah.
You said it, and I was thinking, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You only remember that because we saw the movie last night, and I think you and I both went, "Oh, that character has a name."
Yeah. I didn't. Honestly, I think I knew the name, never knew the face. I didn't know what the character did. I just knew the name was in the movie because he says it like 6 times. He keeps calling him Gillette, and I wonder, is that like a commercial for razors? Is that why? I know it's a real name, but at the same time, it's like that's all people know it as.
Okay, so you and I disagree on some of the characters a little bit, but for the most part, I think we agree on at least 50% of them.
Yeah,
and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow is Gandalf. Saruman is Hector. Elizabeth Swann as Frodo.
Yeah.
What were the other ones? We disagree on Legolas and Aragorn. But Merry and Pippin, I think they have to be the British.
Norrington is Aragorn. The governor is Elrond.
Yeah, I think that's only because it's like the only one that really fits.
Mulroy and Murtagh are Merry and Pippin, even though they don't go with Sam and Frodo.
In the third movies, though, they do become useful, like as characters, which kind of doesn't fit because it's supposed to be in the second film, right?
No, it's the third film. It's the third film. Okay. Yeah. Well, the second film is when they get Treebeard to go and sack Isengard. Yeah. But it's the third film.
So, in the second Pirates of the Caribbean film, they don't really do much. They do show up, but in the third one, they help the main characters win the final battle.
Well, they do that in Lord of the Rings, because when Merry touches the Palantir in Return of the King, Sauron thinks that Merry is Frodo and has the ring. So he's like, I'm going to focus all my attention on Minas Tirith so that, yeah.
But I think that the argument can be made for the other two pirate guys as well. I think both of them work fine. But I think I like the British officers as Merry and Pippin, and then Legolas and Gimli are those two guys a lot as well. So let's skip ahead to the second films. This is the new podcast. David?
Okay, so, I mean, most of the main cast is the same.
What new characters are introduced in the second film? Now we have the big bad guy, right?
I'm bringing it up. The big bad guy? You mean Davy Jones?
Well, I meant Sauron. Not Sauron.
Sauron?
Sauron. I fucking hate Tolkien.
You mean you hate his naming conventions?
Yeah.
Okay, so the second movie, obviously Jack Sparrow is still Gandalf, and now he's back, baby.
Who is Davy Jones playing?
Do you fear death? Davy Jones to me seems like a Grima Wormtongue, right? Because he's like insidious. He's like, because he's not a direct threat, right? Because like Davy Jones can't kill you necessarily. But
are you sure about that?
Because Davy Jones sends his boat to kill you, right? He sends his people to kill you.
If you're on land, he can't kill you, but if you're in the water, he can literally just get to you and kill you. Like the whole last 40 minutes of the third film are like him fighting them on their boats as they all clash.
Oh, Cutler Beckett is our.
Cutler Beckett that's Sauron.
No. Cutler Beckett is Wormtongue. That makes a lot more sense.
No, he's the big bad guy.
Doesn't he try and stop the wedding at the start of the movie?
But that's the thing, though. They never fight him, right? They never fight Cutler Beckett until the very end.
And
he turns on him and he just falls apart out of nowhere, right? Like he thinks he has it all together. He thinks, I'm winning. This is it, right? It's like all the good, like the last little bastion of hope. This last little bit of good guys show up, and he's like, I've got them surrounded. I've got them right where I want them. And then everything turns and everything falls apart.
This one's gonna be a lot harder for me because I haven't watched this movie since 2006.
Oh, I see it like twice.
I did watch it 3 times in 2006, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody else is pretty well the same. All right, so we got Bootstrap Bill now. So
Bootstrap Bill. That's your Wormtongue.
What?
Up until he turns, obviously, he stops being Wormtongue and then becomes. Oh no, he that would obviously be the steward, maybe.
No, you think Bootstrap Bill is?
Because it's up until Bootstrap turns, right? Like he realizes that's my son, and then he turns at the last second. And then he becomes
Grima Wormtongue doesn't turn in the books.
I know, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Like Saruman, no, he does. He kills Saruman when he's going in Hobbiton, because Sauron invades Hobbiton, or he invades the Shire in the books.
Yep.
Which doesn't happen in the movie.
His name has to go back and fix everything up because he's told, right, what Samwise is told, like, you can either go on the journey or you can stay here and defend the Shire. He's like, I'm going to go on the journey.
I mean, wouldn't you want to go to the Grey Havens and live forever?
Was that part of the deal, though? Like, was he told that was going to happen? I don't think he was told that.
Well, that's what the elves do. That's what happens when you go to the land of the elves, is you don't die. It happened for everybody. Nobody...
No, but I mean, that he didn't know that was going to happen afterwards. Like, he just knew, like, I have to go on this journey to deliver the ring. But while I'm doing this, the Shire is going to get attacked, right? Like, that was...
No, of course he didn't know any of that. Yeah.
And then, like, as a reward, afterwards, like, hey, we're gonna take you to the Undying Lands. He's like, oh, sweet.
But he's like the only one who had like kids.
Yeah. But no, like that's the thing with Bootstrap Bill, right? You remember, like he's in the films, like whenever Will tries to get to him, he's like, I got to do my job, whatever. He's stuck, he's crusted to the wall. He doesn't want to help Will with anything because he can't really think straight. He's all like messed up in the head.
Maybe that's
Oh, the king of
no, not the king of Rohan. I'm thinking his nephew, played by Carl Urban. I can't think of his name right now. Not Theodred, that's the son.
I can picture him in my head.
Éomer.
Does Éomer go through like a thing like that?
Well, he gets so here's what happens with Éomer, right? When Grima Wormtongue starts getting inside of the head of Theoden, Theoden kicks out Éomer. He banishes him from the realm. And Éomer as a knight, right? And he's the nephew of the king. He takes all of the riders of Rohan, which is a considerable force, and he just starts running down all the fucking orcs and shit that are rampaging through Rohan that Theoden is no longer defending. But he's on his own, but he's not allowed to go back to like the capital or anything. He's technically not allowed in Rohan at all. So he's banished, but he also like doesn't want any help from anybody. Right? Like he doesn't go to Gondolin. He doesn't go to, what's it called? Gondor or anything. He's just like, nah, I'm just going to do this on my own. And like, this is my burden to bear because my uncle, my king won't do anything about it. So I think him taking on the burden is his version of Bootstrap Bill. Because Gandalf has to go, like Gandalf gets Aragorn to bring them to Helm's Deep to defend. And then Gandalf has to go bring him back to help. Right? So, but Will Turner is the one who obviously gets Bootstrap Bill to help, but that's also his son. We don't have that relationship in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a direct correlation. Who I do think there might be a good one though is, do you remember the crab guy from Davy Jones's ship? The guy with the crab head that like gets knocked off, and then the body goes off without him and picks up the chest and leaves him behind.
The dude is a crab?
He's got a normal normal for the ship, but then like the top of his head is like a hermit crab. Well, not the top.
I googled like crab guy Davy Jones Locker, but it didn't. Crab guy pirates.
Well, maybe Pirates of the Caribbean crab head.
Okay, I see him. Yeah, Hadress. His name is Hadress.
He has a name.
Of course, everybody has a name.
Pirates of the Caribbean crab head. 1 second, I want to pull it up as well.
Over time, taking on aspects of the sea, flora, and fauna, the crew resided among them. He spoke Cantonese, possibly indicating his place of birth. There you go.
I didn't know
he apparently he used knuckle dusters. That was his weapon.
Oh, is that so? But yeah, at one point during the second film, his head gets knocked off, and his body finds the chest that holds Davy Jones's still beaten hat, and he takes it away. But of course, the heart isn't in there; it's in a jar of dirt. But of course,
I've got a jar of dirt. That's all I remember from this movie.
It actually isn't in the jar of dirt. It's in James Norrington's side pocket because he stole it from the jar of dirt.
That son of a bitch. That sly son of a bitch.
Does this man play in The Lord of the Rings? Does he play the goblin orc guy that like is in running that tower that Frodo was being kept in?
Well, that's Return of the King.
Fuck.
You really don't know the difference between Two Towers and Return of the King. You don't know the difference between anything.
They're the same film. They're the same film. I know when 1 and 2 are divided. Like I know the dividing point for those. 2 and 3, it's just one big blur.
Because the first one, the first one ends with right? Sam and Frodo are on their own, and everyone else.
Distinct when the first one ends.
And these 4 or these 3 hunters now they're going after orcs, and then Merry and Pippin are with the orcs, and then Gandalf is gone. The second movie ends with we've saved Helm's Deep. And Sam and Frodo are now in Mordor.
Number 2 and number 3 just feel like the exact same movie to me.
The problem is because the story of Sam and Frodo doesn't have a clear ending there.
Yeah.
Whereas the story for Helm's Deep is done, but it doesn't stop the other. So, and because the movie ends with Sam and Frodo, you feel like, oh, well, this should just keep going. If I'm not mistaken, it's the end of Two Towers is when, I don't know if it's the novel, but in the movie, it's when Gollum is like, oh, no, we can't go through the front gate. I'll take you the side passage.
and that's when it's supposed to end. That's
And then
in
I
the third
think they
movie,
come
isn't
over
it?
the mountain and they see like the thing, and they see like Mordor, and that's where the movie ends.
Because that's I've watched Return of the King actually kind of recently, and I still get it all mixed up. And that's in the third one. I remember that. That's very early on in the film.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that doesn't mean it's the same for the book, as we've already said. They do things a little differently. Yeah, Minas Tirith, and what's the other one? The other city from the other film?
Helm's Deep is not a city, but
Helm's Deep. Whatever. Feels like the exact same battle to me. What movie is the ghost in?
that's the third movie.
Thought it was the second one.
Nope.
Which one of the horses come down the hill in?
That's the second movie.
Oh, I thought it was the third one.
Well, actually, the horses also ride through the fields of Pelennor in the second movie. The Pelennor Fields is
Which one has the elephants?
both of them have elephants because they meet Faramir in the
no.
second movie. Remember?
No. Which one has Treebeard? That's number 2.
That's
gotta be
2.
number 2.
Do they not meet Faramir in the Two Towers? Pretty sure they meet Faramir in the Two Towers.
I know. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying I don't remember.
Yeah, near the end of the movie. Oh, right. It's at the end they let Sam and Frodo go. That's the end of 2. They let Sam and Frodo go from Cirith Ungol. And then Gollum's like, well, now do it. My uncle? Bob's my uncle? I don't have an Uncle Bob.
Sarah's your uncle? Stuart's your uncle?
Stuart's your uncle, Robert's your aunt.
These movies are convoluted. Why do people like them?
Lord of the Rings or Pirates of the Caribbean?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
What do you think? Okay, what film series has made the most money? I think it's Harry Potter, maybe Star Wars.
Marvel.
So it's Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Avengers. Wait, Avengers is number 4. How can Avengers be number 4 if that's part of Marvel? Batman's number 7. Good for Batman.
Yeah, but man, there's a lot of Batman movies. That makes sense.
Where's Lord of the Rings on the list? So Pirates has
number 9. I'm gonna guess.
Pirates has made a total gross of 1.4. Is that $1 trillion? Now the question is, where is Middle Earth? Okay, they call it Middle Earth is the franchise, 1.8. So between the 6, the 3 Hobbit films, giving a little side eye.
I like one of the Hobbit films a lot.
Yeah.
I like 2 of them actually a lot. Well, I like one of them a lot.
I have an edit on my computer that I've never watched, and it's called There and Back Again. And someone just cut the 3 movies into like 2 hours. And I'm like, I should watch it. But I kind of hated so much about those movies. And it's not like it's the story's fault. It's because Peter Jackson, that was the worst time in his life. If you watch the behind the scenes, he was like rewriting scenes the day before they shot them. Because he didn't have like 6 years of pre-production. Like he had so much time for pre-production on the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He had no time for pre-production on The Hobbit because Guillermo del Toro was originally supposed to direct, and he dropped out because he had disagreements with Warner Brothers or whoever, Touchstone, whoever was doing it, not Touchstone. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, well, you got to do it, Peter. And Peter's like, no, I was going to produce. I don't want to do this again. Like, it was really hard to do those other movies, and I loved them, and they're amazing, but like, I can't do it again. And they're like, nah, do it again. And I think he lost like 100 pounds while filming because he was so like ill.
Good for him.
From working so hard. No, he almost died. Like he went from being like obviously unhealthily, large to almost dying. And like people had like breakdowns on the set. Like it was not a good time for anybody, it seemed. And it just didn't turn out as good because there wasn't the production, the preparatory time.
Would you want to act in movies?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Do
you
think you'd be a good actor?
I'd prefer to be in movies than play. I've done plays. And I don't like doing plays.
You think you'd be a good actor?
I think I think I can act.
I know I say this to you all the time. Have you seen Due Date?
Yes, I've seen Due Date.
Do you remember the scene in Due Date when they're in the bathroom stall? Like they're in the bathroom at like a truck stop?
No, I don't.
Well, the one character, Ethan Tremblay from the scene, from the movie. That's the character played by
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. He's an aspiring actor, and he wants to go to Hollywood, not LA. He always says he wants to go to Hollywood and be a big Hollywood
Of course, yeah.
actor. And he wants to be on the show 2.5 Men. That's his favorite show. Which spoilers, he does get on 2.5 Men. But
does Ethan Tremblay or does Zach Galifianakis?
Zach Galifianakis. But they play it as if it's Ethan Tremblay in the film. And then I can't remember. What is Robert Downey Jr.'s character named? Peter Hyman. Because they named his daughter Rose, so she's Rosie Hyman. That's right.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're in a bathroom, and he tries to give him an acting scene, and Ethan Tremblay has a breakdown.
You think that's me? You think I'm gonna have a breakdown in the bathroom?
Maybe you'd be a really good actor. Have you never had a breakdown in the bathroom?
I have, yeah.
I have all the time. That's where I get my
I don't all the time, but that's is breaking down just what you call pooping?
No. But sometimes it helps the process.
When my friend unfortunately killed himself when I was at work, I had a very hard time, and I broke down several times in the bathroom at work.
It's just the best place, right?
No, it's not. The bathroom there was terrible. It was disgusting.
But like, if every room in every house was a bathroom, I think every house would be better.
No. Yes. You want someone to shit next to your bed?
No, that's my personal bathroom. You can't touch that one.
So you want a toilet next to your bed?
I want a toilet next to your bed.
You can't have a toilet. You cannot have a toilet next to my bed.
Why not?
Because, well, first of all, you can't come here because you're too lazy.
How much do I have to pay you to let me put a toilet next to your bed?
First of all, you have to pay for the plumbing that's going to have to be put into this room.
Give me the number. Give me the number.
$40,000.
All right. Check.
That's going to bounce. That's going to bounce, yeah.
What?
Do I trust you? Yeah, I trust your check to bounce. Because I'm confident you don't have $40,000 to just send me.
Mark it on your calendar, folks.
Folks? Who are you talking to?
Talking to everyone that's listening.
Here's why. Okay, so I wanted to like Due Date because I knew it was a remake, basically, of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is a movie I loved.
Nope, completely different.
It's basically the same.
Nope. Love
Robert Downey Jr. Zach Galifianakis is great. Jamie Foxx, Michelle Monaghan. Julia Lewis is in it, and it's done by Todd Phillips, he had just come off of, I think, the second Hangover, which I don't think was as good as the first, but it wasn't bad. And the first one, obviously,
The Hangover 2 is better.
Everybody loved The Hangover, right? Like the first time you're seeing The Hangover, great film. Basically, can't watch it again because you just already know. Yeah, that's it. It's a movie you can only watch once. The plot hinges on not knowing how it ends.
Yep.
But I watched it. I'm like, it's just not quite all there. It's just something misses the mark on it for me. And
so you're telling me when Robert Downey Jr. spits in the face of a dog with a cone on its head, which masturbates in the back of their car, that doesn't make
Do dogs masturbate? Is that?
There's a scene where you watch the dog jack off for about 3 seconds.
Okay, and you wonder why I don't adore this movie as much as you.
And then later, the dog is high. And then later, he then spits in the dog's face and tells him to go fuck himself.
I think part of the reason I don't love this movie as much, I don't love this movie at all, I don't like it as much as you, is because I saw Kiss Kiss Bang Bang before this.
And
I think that's just a superior movie because I just think it's one of the best movies.
You saw Robert Downey Jr. during his low time.
Just the thing, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is when he was on his rise, right? Because like Due Date's after Iron Man. Due Date is 4 years after Iron Man. Or 2 years, sorry. 2 years after Iron Man.
It was made before, like they started working on it though before it came out. Like
before Iron Man came out?
They started working on it, not like
okay.
They didn't know Iron Man was going to be a big success.
Right,
yet.
Okay. But it was after Kiss Kiss Bang Bang because that was like 2003 or 4.
You're telling me when they drink coffee made out of Ethan Tremblay's dead dad's ashes, you don't laugh. And then when he
Do you think I would particularly laugh at that scene?
Mm-hmm. I do.
I don't remember thinking it was funny.
You're racist.
I'm not racist.
Against Greeks. It's against Greek people. You don't like.
He's not even Greek. He's American. He's from the United States of America.
It's all right. It's all right. We found it.
Out of the two of us, who is more likely to have drank the ashes of his dead father?
Well, my dad's alive, so you.
There you go.
I'll always have that to one up you with it. My dad's still alive.
My dad could beat the shit out of your dad. Your dad can kick dirt.
Well, that's about all he can do. He only has the one arm.
Oh, that's right. Because he's a bad.
I got 3/4 of a dad up on you.
Do you think? Wait. An arm is not a quarter of your body.
Yeah, but it's like 1/4 of your body's usefulness, right? Well, I guess 20%.
Yeah, I would say, because you need the torso. Like, you have to have the torso, right? Like, that goes without saying.
Yeah, there's been a great GIF on Reddit today of a guy that's just a torso, and it's him running.
He doesn't have a head?
He obviously has a head.
Okay, because there's two components that you are required to have to be a living.
But he's cut off above the belly button.
Above the belly button?
Yeah.
Oh, he's missing a lot of intestines then.
It's just all shoved up like real.
Oh, it's real tight in there. Ooh.
Like, he doesn't have a butt or anything though. Like, he just poops and pees into bags. He's like
yeah. Oh, of course.
He's jacked as a mother.
I think I saw this on Imgur. Is he black?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I saw this on Imgur.
This guy's ripped.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who says Imgur. Fuck you.
Yeah, I say Imgur.
Imgur?
Imgur.
Yeah, I mean, if you could only use your arms, you'd probably be really, really skinny or really jacked because.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do I have a penis? And does it work?
I don't. I think if you have one, it doesn't work, and I think if you don't have one, it still wouldn't work.
Well, then I would not be that jacked.
Okay. Because I think about it this way: if your legs are incredibly strong, right? Like, even if you're not like a really like strong person, you have very strong legs. Like, legs just do a lot of work all the time, right? Just imagine if your legs.
For most people, that's true. I don't think my legs are that strong.
Yeah, but they're still weight. But you can stand, right?
Sometimes.
And you can run.
Sometimes.
Right, but you can propel yourself upward or forward.
I don't know if it's really me doing it or if it's just gravity.
But that's not how gravity works. Gravity doesn't propel you upward against itself.
It's friction. Sorry.
That's none of that's true.
Yes, it is. Can't do any.
If it didn't hurt your spine to just jump, you could jump, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means your legs are capable of propelling. What do you weigh? Like 100 and you're pretty light, right? You're like 170.
180. Yeah.
Okay, 180. So your legs are capable of pushing not just 180 pounds together, but enough to lift 180 pounds an inch off the ground, 2 inches off the ground, 3 inches off the ground, something like that, in one quick go. So that takes a lot of power. So imagine that power was in your arms.
Yeah, my arms would be like 20% smaller. No, they wouldn't. They'd be bigger.
So yeah, if there was a whole episode of a whole bunch of episodes of Community that had a character called Kick Puncher, and he was basically their version of RoboCop, and his whole deal was his punches had the strength of kicks.
Oh.
And then I think it's in Kick Puncher 3. It's Kick Puncher versus Punch Kicker, and it's like, you've met your match.
What is Punch Kicker's special power?
They don't say. They don't say. But if it's his kicks have the power of punches, I suspect he's going to lose that fight.
Maybe he's real wily, He wears his opponent down.
Maybe he walks. I always thought that maybe he's like Mr. McGregor with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg. So he walks around on his hands and then he kicks people with his feet. And that's Punch Kicker. he's got two arms, right? Where his legs are, and he's got 2 legs where his arms would be.
That's just unfortunate.
Which would be very, very unwieldy.
If I had that set up, I would just walk on my arms then.
But you can't. But you can't because they go in a different direction, right?
No, I would walk back. I would get like a camera Like I would get 2 phones and I would just like screen share, and my head would just be down there, and I'd be that's how I would
you
do
could solve
things.
this problem with mirrors instead of phones.
Sure, or a phone or a mirror, whatever.
And you walk around on your arms, which are your legs.
Which are my legs?
No, your
because
legs are your arms. That's right. Yeah.
my arms are my legs.
Yeah.
See, it's a lot worse if you go, I have one arm for a leg and one leg for an arm. Then you're like, oh, I'm all.
Oh yeah, you're all fucked up. That's the great thing. That scene on The Simpsons where he grabs him by the collar with one arm, and then he's just got a leg for the other arm sticking up in the air. Dude, Dr. Nick. I feel like Dr. Nick probably isn't on The Simpsons as often.
He's not. He's been. I think he's kind of just been canceled from the show. Like they did something racy with him once.
Oh really?
Kind of still the edge in him out.
That sucks.
Yeah, because everybody's like, we don't like Dr. Nick. Plus, there's like the other doctor, anyways. Who's
Dr.
like
Hibbert.
Doctor, but Dr. Hibbert. That's it.
I wouldn't call him a good doctor. If you recall, he didn't detect a crayon in Homer's brain after like 30 episodes of.
Yeah, he also like
X-rays.
recorded how long it took for Homer's fat to stop jiggling.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
What medical practice is he conducting?
It's a part of detecting how much fat is on your body. Yeah. They squeeze. Actually, when I was in high school, we did impedance tests, which is they attach an electrode to your finger, an electrode to your toe, and they send a small amount of electrical current through your body, and they measure and they take your weight and stuff, and they get a fairly, I think it's within a margin of about 5% how much your body fat is. Like I have a scale that does that now.
And then they pull out the stopwatch and slap your belly.
But the most accurate way actually to detect body fat is they actually pinch you. They put like clothespins on your body. Apparently, that's like the best way to figure out, because it gives them like a volume that they can figure out, and then from that they can figure out like how much volume of fat is on your body, and then figure out the weight, and then they take your weight and they take that weight, and then like because bones only weigh like I think like 7 to 10 pounds, something like that. Bones. This is the crazy thing. Like your bones weigh so little.
Just get rid of them.
Well, think
of all the weight you lose.
It's incredible how little bones make up about 15% of a person's body weight. Oh, sorry. So if you're 100 pounds, they're 15 pounds.
Yeah, and then like, what about when they're big boned?
Well, like I'm almost 300 pounds. Not almost. I'm like 270 right now, maybe 260 because I've kind of been losing a little bit of weight finally.
Okay.
So if bones are 15% of my weight, my bones weigh a lot.
David, that's getting real big. We got to get you on a treadmill.
That's 40 pounds of bones.
Yeah, you're pretty big bones.
Got pretty big bones. Yeah, this is basically the biggest I've ever been. It's also like 2 years of quarantine. Because I was running 10Ks. I ran my first 10K in 2018, ran 2 in 2019. So you have to run pretty consistently to be able to run 10 kilometers on command.
Yeah.
And then
I've never been a good runner. I know.
2020, there were no races, right? There were just none. So that's when I just stopped running, basically. And my friends who I ran with moved to BC. So I don't.
You should move to BC.
That's what they want. I know that's what you want.
Yeah.
But nobody thinks about what I want.
What do you want?
To win the lottery.
And what are you going to do when you win the lottery?
Probably move to BC.
See?
No, I might not. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I'd probably. I mean, I like where I live is the thing.
Yeah, but you could like where you live even better if you live somewhere.
Right, but then not like I'd be only near like one friend rather than like near some friends.
That's fair enough because we're not friends. That is fair.
Yeah, we're enemies. Like one of my best friends still lives in the same city as me. Obviously, so does like my brother, right? And like my best friend lives. I'm pretty lucky. I got multiple best friends. They're not quite equal, but they're close.
What are you showing off for?
It's just I'm just that I've been lucky in that regard in my life where I just have like amazing friends.
I have, I think, burned every friendship I've ever had almost.
You've still got Keen, right?
No, Keen and I are enemies. You don't remember, as I used to say all the time, none of you are my friends. Remember that? Everyone here is an acquaintance at best.
I was just talking to my mother about something like that, where I would work with people and they were like, "We're friends," and I go, "Nope, Like, yes, we are. I'm like, have we ever hung out outside of work? They're like, well, why would we hang out outside of work? And I'm like, exactly. That's how I know we're not friends. Because I've worked with people. Yeah, friends hang out outside. Like, I've been, like, my friend Brian. I've worked with Brian at 2 different jobs. I like Brian. I like hanging out with Brian. Guess what?
Which Brian? This Brian?
The one we play D&D with. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's my friend. We've worked 2 different jobs together. We would work together still if we could, to be honest, because not all of my friends are the kind of people I would want to work with. Brian is 100% the kind of person I like working with.
Okay.
Because like I don't
think we should work together.
Do you remember when you were still in the Air Force and you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna like open a weed shop and I want you to come work for me"? And I was like, "I don't."
Yeah, you were gonna be the cash register.
And I'm like, "Yeah, not the cashier, the cash register."
You're gonna be the cash register.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work in a weed shop. And now that we have weed shops in Canada, I'm like, I can make a lot of money being a cashier.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about it. I was like, it's gonna happen.
It did.
Like,
it's
already
happen.
Technically possible in Washington.
It did happen.
And you're like, I don't want to do it. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I still don't. I don't like the smell of weed. I don't.
I don't like the smell of weed either. So I think it's a good decision. I never went down that route. It gives me like a weird headache, and I've smoked weed twice in my life on 2 different occasions, and each time I'm like the people that's like doesn't do anything, and I don't like just smelling it. It makes me feel queasy a little bit. It just doesn't hit me right.
Yeah, it's not for me.
And I've smoked cigarettes on 4 different occasions, and each time I've been like, "This is just I don't like."
It's gross. It's gross.
And each time I've like walked up to a group of people that know I don't smoke, and like, "Give me a cigarette," and they're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, give it to me." And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? I thought I'd just try it today because I was in a bad mood. Still not doing it for me, but thank you anyways for the cigarette." And they're like, "Are you gonna give me some money for that?" And I'm like, "Nope."
I'm like how many times, like, fucking smokers are the least prepared people on the planet, right? Like, smokers, like, I don't have a lighter. It's like, why do you not have a lighter? You have an addiction that you need a lighter for. Like, yeah, well, it's like, okay, so how do you have it? Like, you're just not prepared. Like, oh, they're like, "Can I bum a smoke?" And it's like, you don't have the one thing you're addicted to.
That's why I just do like meth.
Yeah.
You just keep it in the syringe.
Well, the thing about meth is that it gives you the energy. Do not try meth, ladies.
Or even if you don't have the syringe, you just get like a spoon.
I don't know. But in theory is like, wouldn't meth give you the like energy you need? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the opposite of lazy. The diligence you need.
Ambition.
Yeah, the ambition to make meth.
I don't know.
Like it's a self-producing cycle, right? It replicates itself, where it's like, oh, you do meth, and that gives you the energy you need to make meth. So you make meth so you can do meth.
And what do you think heroin does for you?
Heroin just makes you want to do more heroin.
And what does crocodile do for you?
I don't know what that is. Is that a street drug?
It's like, no, it's like super heroin.
Super heroin? Isn't heroin powerful enough?
Like lesions, and like it breaks, like it literally causes your body to break down.
Yeah.
Crocodile does that, but it's all on the inside.
Is this a drug from Australia?
No. It's from Hungary.
Oh, so okay.
Or maybe Ukraine, but it's from one of them. But
from one of them. It's either Bratislava or Berlin. I'm not sure which.
But crocodile is like heroin in that it breaks your body down. And in fact, I think it just is heroin, but it's like a special type of heroin. But the thing is, you don't see it on the outside for like a year. Like if you're doing it heavily for like a year or 2, you still won't see any effects. And then you'll see it, and you'll be like, "Oh, I should maybe stop." It's too late. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're just the clock has hit 0, and your body just breaks down at that point, and there's nothing that can be done.
Gross. I used to think, because when I had my wisdom teeth out when I was 19, I was basically the first time I was ever on an opiate.
And you getting your strength teeth pulled out?
Why would I get them pulled out? I want to be strong. I don't need wisdom. Warriors don't read books, as you always say.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt real good, right? Obviously, I felt real good because I was on some kind of, it's probably codeine or whatever, right? Like some mild thing. Because they put me under, and then I woke up and they gave me pills, whatever. And I was like, man, that felt amazing. Like I could do that once a year. And then I listened to the Bill Burr, or maybe shortly after, I listened to the Bill Burr podcast for like 2 years or something like that. And he would say the same thing. He was like, "Oh yeah, I could just do heroin once." And then, but he's obviously famous. So like people write in and they're like, "Hey Bill, I'm a former heroin addict. You can't do heroin once. That's what we all thought. And then we became addicts. And now I'm trying to put my life back together after 3 years of sobriety. Like, he would get like dozens of responses like that. So it's like, okay, so you can't do heroin once. You can't do heroin once.
I always said if I was to do a drug and just do it once, I would do, this is why I know of it, crocodile. Because I don't know where to get it.
The one that you said,
like, the more I hammer it, the more it sounds like I have a crocodile addiction.
Are you, do you want to talk?
No, but that's if I was ever to do a drug once, I would want to do a drug that I don't know where to find.
I don't know where to get heroin, dude. Like, I don't know where to get any of these things.
I can't do heroin because heroin's big.
There are weed dispensaries in my city. I don't know where they are. Like,
I know where all of mine are. There's one, like, I could go get one and, like, not even in the podcast. Like, I could go get weed right now and keep the conversation going.
Yeah, I couldn't do any of that.
But, like, heroin's big where I'm from, meth's big where I'm from. Like, all those, like, normal, cocaine is pretty easy to find. Like, I think you just go ask, like, hey, do you guys have cocaine? They go, no, but the bar across the street does. Thanks.
Just drive toward them. Well, actually, there's a guy who used to live down there. I grew up with him. And when we were in high school, he sold cocaine.
Yeah. See, like, all those things are easy.
But I don't,
like, crocodile?
I don't know
nobody knows what it is that much. Like, and, like, I've never heard anyone be like, you want to try some? That's what I'm like, that's what I would try. Because I would never be able to find it again.
Do you remember?
So even if I got addicted, I think I'd be good.
Do you remember when bath salts came out and everybody was like going nuts about bath salts because they said like a guy who ate a guy's face was on it, and then it turned out he was just crazy and not on bath salts.
Was that?
Yeah, he just turned out to be like schizophrenic.
Wasn't he Canadian?
Yeah, he was schizophrenic. He had a bunch of other issues. He at no point was he on bath salts, but there was an old episode of, I think, Big Fat Quiz of the Year, and Noel Fielding was on. Noel Fielding, kind of a notorious drug user, I would imagine. He's a UK comedian, right? He was, IT Crowd, whatever else.
Yeah, he plays the vampire in the IT Crowd.
He's not a vampire. He was on season 3 of Taskmaster. He's good on Taskmaster. Anyway,
I think it's on season 4. It's one of the early ones.
On the Big Fat Quiz of the Year episode, there was a question about the guy who was like ate someone's face or something like that, and the answer was bath salts. And Jimmy just offhandedly was like, "Oh, Noel, have you ever tried bath salts?" And he goes, it's not bad, actually." Like, very candidly, like kind of laughing, like they're not bad. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I guess it's not what people think it is. Like it's got a very,
I wouldn't know.
It's got a very bad rap.
Me, David.
I don't know.
I only do crocodile.
Well, that's the question. Is like, if you could only do one. Actually, I have another weird story.
What's that secret FBI drug?
PCP.
No.
Angel dust.
No.
No.
The one that's like that they made all the movies about.
Rohypnol? No, that's the rape drug. Secret FBI.
They made a movie where like that was like the main plot of the movie was the drug too. Recently, it's got the guy that played the guy that made Facebook, and then it's got Kristen Stewart in it, and it turns out she's like his FBI handler.
Are you sure it's FBI, not CIA?
CIA. Sure, let's go with CIA instead.
So you're talking about Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
So let's do a little investigating.
Do a little deep dive. Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart.
Because I know the movie you're talking about. I think it's called American. No, it's not American Killer, is it? It's American Ultra.
Yeah. Oh, Ultra. MK Ultra.
MK Ultra, right?
MK Ultra.
I've never seen this. Maybe I should watch this.
Oh, it's fine.
There's a song by Muse called MK Ultra, and then they basically did a whole fucking album about that kind of shit. Called
MK Ultra was a top secret CIA project in which the agency conducted hundreds of clandestine experiments, sometimes on unwitting U.S. citizens.
Jesus Christ! Yeah,
this is just a real thing.
I know, and I've heard of it.
They did it with LSD. That's what their drug was. They were using a lot of LSD in MK Ultra.
Oh yeah, I would do LSD. Sure. I mean, that just like it's like playing D&D, but without the dice. I'm gonna see a dragon or some shit. So I worked at this company about a decade ago, and we had a driver who would pick up. He was a very nice guy. He sold weed, of course, before it was legal, and he would sell to my manager. My manager was a very nice guy. Kind of became my friend. Like the only manager I've ever been, because I hung out with him after he quit. We would play board games together, and this manager would do cocaine on like some weekends. He would like just straight up cocaine with his girlfriend. Like she had a daughter, so like it was always like the weekends where the daughter wasn't there. It's just the two adults. And so like Saturday morning, this is what he told me anyway. You know, I don't know how true it is. He would get up, he'd like start some, like not a lot. I don't know how much is a lot or a little. And then he said the first thing that would happen is you basically just get immediate diarrhea. Like if you think like coffee makes you have to go to the bathroom, like cocaine, just like you got to go shit immediately.
That's what I need.
And then he would get like a 12-pack of beer, not like a 2-4, but like a 12-pack, because he wasn't an alcoholic. But like, because 12 beers over like, you know, a day is not great, right? But it's not, you know, it's not alcoholic levels per se, as long as you space them out. And he would, at the time, he was building a pond in his backyard. So he would go out and he would just get a shovel and he would be digging the pond. And by like noon would roll around, the cocaine would wear off and he'd have, you know, he would drink beer. And so by noon he'd be a little buzzed and then he'd start drinking water and stuff and like have real food. So by the end of the night, you know, he's tired, he's kind of buzzed, he's got no cocaine left. Sunday, completely clean day, drink water, work out. Like, so Monday he comes in and he's like fresh as a daisy. It's like such a weird pattern for me. But he said like he would get so much work done doing this apparently.
You know what? That's what he needs.
I mean, yeah, he was a weird guy, he had a really weird life. Like he'd seen his best friend die on a hike. But like, and clearly had like PTSD and stuff. But he also like PTSD because he was in the Canadian Reserves and literally saw civilians shot in front of him during the like Bosnian occupation. So yeah, he was real messed up, and like this was like his way of like coping with stuff, which it was neat because it never harmed anybody. Like he was the most responsible drug user I'd ever seen. Not that impacted my view of drugs, but he would buy weed from our driver, and the driver told us a story one time where he bought PCP, and like PCP is like a crazy drug, right? Like, because that's what people they would talk about like in the 80s and 90s about like people were going to get high on PCP and like rob stores because it makes you like you can't feel anything. Like you would get shot and like not be able to feel it. So that like people were going to take PCP and just like fight cops or whatever, which I guess happened a couple times in LA. Because like when you can't feel, like you know how it's like your body has like a defense mechanism so that you don't like, because you could rip your body apart if you wanted to. Like your muscles are strong enough that you could like, you know, rip whatever you want. Which is how you get like people who like lift cars and shit like once and then their bodies are like wrecked because they have like a moment of like superhuman ability because their muscles are actually firing at 100% like an ape. But you can't do that normally because it destroys everything. So the guy gave him like a water bottle full of, I guess PCP is a liquid. And the guy never told him how much to drink, and he drank the whole bottle, and he woke up like 7 days later. And the guy was like, you were supposed to have like a tablespoon. He's like, you're really lucky you're not dead. He has no idea what happened. He just 7 days of his life are gone in a row.
Well, he must have slept the whole time.
He got like, he's genuine. Then he was like, yeah. And like, he's like, from then on, I only smoke weed. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't smoke weed after that. I would be afraid to like drink water from the tap. Like, Jesus Christ. Like the most drunk I've ever been, I've lost like maybe 8 hours of my life.
Honestly, like, I don't black out when I drink. I've never blacked out.
I drank I drank a lot when I got blackout drunk. I think I drank 12 whiskey sours in 4 hours.
Yeah, I've drank a lot. I just never blacked out.
I didn't black out after drinking an entire bottle of vodka in an hour, but I blacked out at my friends had a party, and they made like a nice punch, and my friend was making whiskey sours. I was drinking whiskey sours. Then I was drinking punch. I was drinking whiskey sours, and then like 2 hours in, I don't remember anything at all. I don't remember getting home, but I am lucky that I'm a responsible drunk, sort of. Like when it comes to, all right, I'm home. Like I took out my contacts, I cleaned them, I put on my pajamas, I brushed my teeth. You know, like I got.
Do you do what I do when I'm drunk? Do you clean up your whole house when you're drunk like I do?
I did that once in college where I drank like a whole bottle of vodka. And I cleaned my entire, but someone had like shit on like the seat of our bathroom because there were like 12 people in our dorm room. And I remember waking up at like 3 a.m. and someone had just shit on our toilet, like not in the toilet, on the toilet. And I was so drunk that I was like, well, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to pee. So I'm going to have to clean this. And I just ended up, and the thing is like, because I was in college and it was a dorm on campus, like someone would come in and clean our bathroom for us as well. But like someone shits in your bathroom, like you're going to have to, you know, I can't imagine like a cleaning lady coming in on like Monday after like 4 days of just some shit being
like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but I wasn't going to be that person. And I missed the sociology test, which was worth 1% of my grade. We would do a test once a week. It was really, I don't know. I did sociology in high school, and it was the same stuff I did in college. So I got 99% in that class.
Oh no!
Because I missed one
you
test.
Just ruined your college career.
Actually, well, I mean, dude, when I was in college, I remember talking to one of my teachers, and I was like, "Hey, man, like this class is the reason I'm not getting honors in our program." And he went, "Oh, if you apply to a police service, they're not going to care." And I go, "If they don't care that I have honors, why would they care I have the diploma at all?" And he kind of just like shrugged a little bit, and I went, "Cool. So the salary that my tuition is paying for, I should just not be here." And then like he didn't have an answer. I was like, "Cool, man. I'm glad you're here teaching people to not become cops then." Like, I don't think anybody in my program became a police officer.
That's a good thing, probably.
Out of the people I met, yeah. So, I mean, some people like Matt would have made a great cop.
Maybe.
I don't know why he didn't pursue it more. Now he's a realtor, you know?
Yeah, I think he made the right choice. Now he's screwing over the world.
I mean, I did give him shit when he was like, "Yeah, I'm taking my realty stuff." I'm like, "You fucking vulture." And he was like, "Man, everybody's making money. I want to get on it." And I'm like, you're my friend and I respect you, but also like I kind of don't respect that choice. But at the same time, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like you're stuck in the system you're in. We're not, you know.
We should make our own country.
We should. Called Outer Haven. I'm thinking.
Nope.
It's full of veterans.
Is that Metal Gear Solid?
It is. It's Metal Gear.
What if we called it Inner Haven?
That's fun. Inner Hell.
Is that a Metal Gear Solid?
No, it's only Outer Haven.
Inner Heaven.
Yeah. It's kind of, I mean, Outer Haven's kind of a dumb name.
They're all dumb names.
Is it better than Mother Base though?
Is that? Yeah, that is.
That's the one from Metal Gear Solid 5. They call Outer Haven in that one Mother Base because Outer Haven was destroyed. And then he rebuilds it anyway. In Metal Gear 2, he builds a Outer Haven in Zanzibar Land.
Zanzibar Land?
That's what it's called. Zanzibar Land.
Is that in Africa? Is that in the Southeast Africa?
Everything in Metal Gear is in Africa. It's not on the coast this time. It's not on the coast this time. He builds it on land.
Oh. I've only played the last Metal Gear Solid.
Wait, you never played Metal Gear Solid 3 or 4?
No.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is a ridiculously good game. Like it really is good. It's, oh my God, I love it. I love Metal Gear Solid 3 so much. Still my favorite. Gameplay wise, 5 is the best, but 3, like the story of 3 is just like, oh my God, 3 is so good. Metal Gear Solid 1 is good. Metal Gear Solid 2 is pretty good.
What are you calling the 5th one? You're like
Venom Punished Snake. Venom because I guess Kojima couldn't decide whether it should be Venom Snake or Punished Snake. And I wish he would have just picked one because it's kind of dumb that it's both. But the thing is, everybody calls you boss anyway because you're Big Boss at that point.
Yeah.
So just be Big Boss. Like at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3, you become Big Boss. And then you play as Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
I played a lot of Metal Gear I forgot about it. I did play a lot of Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops.
Portable Ops is really good, right?
It's fun. It's the same gameplay loop, kind of as like
5.
Not really quite the same.
It is like
it's very similar to 5.
That's the interesting thing is that 5, the gameplay loop of 5 of like kidnapping people and turning them into your soldiers is not stolen because Kojima made those games, but like it's taken from a Vita or not even a Vita game, a PSP game.
Yeah.
So essentially, like Kojima just went, I made a PS1 game, I made a PS2
also
game.
known as Ahab.
In Metal Gear Solid 5, you're talking about?
That's
because spoilers. In Metal Gear Solid 5, you're not playing as Naked Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3, you're playing as someone else.
Then I'm aware you're playing as the medic. Yeah.
Yes, but not everybody knows that. I didn't know that, but I suspected it, and I didn't want to like ruin the surprise for me. But then I just never beat Metal Gear Solid 5 because it kind of just fell off as the game did. When there was a giant walking mech that was bigger than the mech in the first game, and I was like,
doesn't make sense from a gameplay perspective anymore.
Well, from a timeline perspective, when in Metal Gear Solid 5, the Shagohod is like the size of like Voltron, and then the biggest mech to date was Metal Gear Rex and Metal Gear Solid.
It's the Gundam in Japan, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 1, which has Rex, which is the biggest mech in the series, except for Shagohod. I'm sorry, no, Shagohod is Metal Gear Solid 3, which is it's actually a tank that fires nukes. It's not like a walking mech. Metal Gear Solid 5 has Xanthopus or whatever it's called. It's a
Xanthopus.
That's a real guy, by the way. That's a real person that existed in history. No, they named it after an ancestor of humans. What is the Metal Gear in Metal Gear Solid 5 called? Sahelanthropus. It's the ST-84. Sahelanthropus was a nuclear-armed bipedal tank developed in 1980, utilized by XOF. It was Huey Emmerich, which is Otacon's father.
Otacon's dad.
So it's got the head of Rex, is the thing. Like, this mech has the head of Rex, but it's like 10 times as tall. Because Rex is only like 2 stories tall, whereas this thing is fucking huge.
Yeah, I did that boss fight. I remember it being ridiculous.
I just got to the part where you run away from it, and that was the last time I played Metal Gear Solid 5.
Hmm.
And I loved Metal Gear Solid 5. Like,
I mean, you did. That's like pretty much all the game.
Well, I didn't meet Liquid Snake or Eli or whatever the kid's name is. Eli is the young Liquid Snake. I never met him.
Yeah. I mean, you did pretty much all the game.
MSF. Yeah, MSF was cool. Militaire Sans Frontières.
I'm just looking at the pictures of the Gundam Wing statue in Japan.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's big. It's tall.
Oh, that's right. So in Metal Gear Solid, or in Metal Gear, you don't actually fight Big Boss. You fight the guy who you think is Big Boss, but it's actually Ahab. And that's how they explain.
Who's the character you play in Phantom Pain?
Yes.
Which is how they explain him being alive later. At the end of like 4.
Well, because you kill him at the end of Metal Gear. Snake is retired. Oh no, Snake isn't. So in Metal Gear, the first game on the Famicom, and then later ported to the NES, you play as Snake, or I don't even think he's Solid Snake. He's just Snake because it's all Kojima loves Western movies. He loves like Escape from New York, hence the name Snake. Right? He wanted Kurt Russell to do the voice.
Tell because like when you look at this movie or this game, and you look at like other good movies like Waterworld or The Postman, there's a lot of similarities between them.
You just want to talk about The Postman and Waterworld.
Well, Jack Black's in the films, and as we started,
he's in both.
Probably the best. Well, at least in Waterworld.
Do you think Jack Black should star in the next Mad Max film?
I think he should be, if they were to make a Metal Gear film, I think he should play Otacon.
Jack Black would be a good Otacon.
Yeah.
He would be. I don't know if he'd want to play, because Otacon is silly, but he pisses.
And then he also plays Big Boss.
No. Please no.
Yeah.
They are supposed to be making Metal Gear Solid, and Oscar Isaac is supposed to play Snake. And it's going to be a retelling of the first game. And I would, honestly, if they're going to make a movie of any of those, the first game would make an awesome fucking movie. Like, oh, God.
I'd have to take your word on it.
The first movie is a James Bond film. It's like he enters a nuclear base in Alaska through submarine. Portable.
You told me all the games were based in Africa.
No, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 are based in Africa. Metal Gear. So
all the games were based in.
Yeah, all the Metal Gear games.
What's this? What are we talking about now?
Metal Gear Solid. It's different.
But it's got Metal Gear in it.
No, it's Solid now because there was Metal Gear Acid as well, which is different.
What's the difference if it's Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid? It's
no,
still Metal Gear.
It's not. It's different.
All right, fuck you. I'm done. See you tomorrow.